The Overnight Underground Podcast. Now the headlines. Rat armies are invading our cities. Fun, sun, and guns on the beach for Memorial Day. The name Karen is now officially a racial slur.
Where are the white women at?
Oh, great. Now there is coronavirus acne. And Larry King inks a $5 million podcast deal.
Only $50.
All this and more on today's Overnight Underground News. I'm John Ford. If the Rona doesn't get you, the raging hordes of roving rat armies will. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is taking the leap from bacteria and virus oversight to rodent control. As reported last week on the Overnight Underground News, with so many humans on lockdown, rats are having a field day, especially in densely packed cities.
My God, look at the rats!
The CDC is advising Americans to be on the lookout for rodents that are exhibiting unusual or aggressive rodent behavior, which kind of begs a question. What exactly is unusual behavior for a rat? Bobby Corrigan, a urban rodentologist, I'll bet you didn't even know there was such a thing, told NBC News, quote, "So these rats are fighting one another, and now the adults are killing the young in the nest and cannibalizing the pups." In New Orleans during the lockdown, rodents literally took over Bourbon Street, some even seen carrying giant frozen margaritas.
It's driving our rodents crazy.
New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell. No matter what, there's always one kind of vermin or another perambulating down Bourbon Street. And what a Memorial Day weekend it was. Americans headed to the beaches for some fun, sun, and of course, gunfire over the holiday weekend. Myrtle Beach and Daytona Beach both experienced the firearm fun by otherwise mostly law-observing citizens. WESH TV2 reported that 6 people were shot and wounded near the boardwalk in Daytona Beach. Near Myrtle Beach, 2 people were killed and 5 others hurt when gunfire erupted at a Memorial Weekend party, according to Fox Carolina. And according to 7 News Chicago, there were 10 homicides over the weekend and nearly 50 shot. 50! The Moron Index was bending the needle over the weekend here in the good old U.S. of A.
But there's no better word than stupid.
Trump has tweeted in the past about the death of a woman who died in the office of then GOP Representative Joe Scarborough 20 years ago. The AP is reporting that now the husband of that woman, Lori K. Clausudis, is demanding that Twitter delete Trump's tweets that allegedly suggest Scarborough murdered her.
Oh my God.
In a letter to Twitter's commander-in-twat, Jack Dorsey, the man said the twarts, let's just see how many different ways we can say tweet. The man said the twarts violate Twitter's community rules and terms of service. Here we are in the year of our Lord 2020, with different ways to say tweet, twat, twart. Who would have thunk it? Anyways, in a response, the twiddling company said that they were, quote, deeply sorry about the pain these statements and the attention they are drawing are causing the family. The company stopped short of any censorship or statements generally regarding Trump's tweets.
Flipping the bird.
Here's today's story regarding glass houses and stone throwers and all that sort of thing. In the last week or so, the governor of Michigan and some of the state's citizens have been at odds, to put it lightly, over the power of the governor and the lockdown, even to the point of some armed Michiganders storming the Capitol building in Lansing. Well, now it seems that despite Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer's push for some of the harshest lockdowns in the U.S., her family, it seems, feels entitled enough to ignore the rules. Whitmer did recently ease some lockdown restrictions for Memorial Day weekend. She said in a news conference, quote, "If you don't live in these regions, think long and hard before you take a trip to them. Don't descend on Traverse City from all regions of the state." Well, 3 days later, according to the Detroit News, a marina owner in the Traverse City area posted on Facebook that the governor's husband, Mark Malloy, had asked the marina to get their boat in the water before Memorial Day. Now, the governor appears to be all wet.
Politically, you're a fool.
Let's see what else we have in the Outrage column for today. Have you heard about the story of the white woman walking her dog without a leash in Central Park when a black man asks her to put the dog on a leash. The woman then goes apoplectic and calls 911.
There is an African-American man. I am in Central Park. He is recording me and threatening myself and my dog.
The woman has since issued an apology, had her dog taken from her by Animal Rescue, and placed on leave from her job. Amy Cooper, the dog-walking woman in question, told CNN that her life is being destroyed over the video of the incident. Job well done all the way around. You know, that's the kind of schadenfreude we need. To see some woman's life destroyed always makes you feel better about your own life. Honestly, the whole thing is such a non-story, but it's getting national attention because someone is outraged, and we demand someone suffer for it. People, mind your own damn business and just treat each other like human beings. Or better yet, like a dog.
And then he took the electric carving knife, cut her into little pieces, and fed her to his dog.
There's a new malady striking mask wearers, and its name is maskne. According to Fox News, maskne, that's mask and acne put together, is an acne that forms under the areas and around your face that are covered by a mask. It seems when you wear the mask, you're essentially sealing in your breath. This creates a moist, humid environment leading to irritation, rashes, and acne. Think of it kind of like diaper rash for your face.
Ma'am, may I pour you a drink?
By tomorrow latest, I expect to see everyone applying butt paste to their faces stat. The next coronavirus-related horse shit we might have to deal with this summer? Why, rolling blackouts, of course. According to the Daily Beast, yeah, I know, it's a Daily Beast, now that so many people are working from home, air conditioning use may spike during the summer, causing strains on the nation's grid from sea to shining sea.
It's damn hot.
Just shove a snow cone in your shorts. A performance artist decided standing out in front of a Trader Joe's wearing a bikini made entirely of face masks was the perfect way to protest the coronavirus lockdown. The Free Press Journal has the eye bleach prime photos if you just have to see them.
Don't you do it!
The face mask wearing Ding Dong wrote in a Facebook post that she believes coronavirus is a hoax created to erode freedoms, forcing people to wear masks in public and some other wackadoodle notions. Which, of course, could be all true. Still doesn't mean you need to stand in front of a Trader Joe's wearing a bikini made out of face masks. And like everything else and everyone else these days, there is outrage over her stunt, with people responding to her Facebook post of the event over her misuse of personal protective equipment, and others calling her a Karen. I ask you, honestly, when did calling a white woman a Karen become an acceptable racial slur? Where's the outrage over that?
Yeah, boy.
Maybe Karen should have sent a woman in Ukraine an extra face mask or two. Seems like she had a few to spare. The Daily Star reports that a woman in Kiev, when she was told she would not be waited on at a business unless she was wearing a face mask, proceeded to drop her pants, whipped off her undies, and put said panties over her punum.
You do not want to face the wrath of my bunghole!
And of course, then proceeded to use them as a face mask. Talk about getting your knickers at a twist. You know, Joe Rogan, I can understand, getting a multi-million-dollar contract. But Larry King? It seems Larry King just inked a $5 million podcast deal. I'll bet most people thought he was already dead.
He's dead, Jim.
And anyone under 40, their response would undoubtedly be, Larry who? According to Variety, the hour-long podcast will feature guests from pop culture, sports, music, and comedy. The guy must have pictures of someone or something. $5 million.
Holy cow.
Sources say the name of the new podcast is The Millionth Question. There is no truth to the rumor that the 9th divorce was also in the running.
That is great radio.
N-E-W-S.
A mostly correct and occasionally incomplete transcript and links to reference sources and articles of this Overnight Underground can be found at overnightunderground.com.